monthly meeting of the Fairfield Glade Community Club Board of Directors will come to order. Due to the CDC guidelines and COVID-19 public health advisories for social distancing, this morning's Board of Directors meeting is open to members of the board, key staff members, and limited observers. This meeting is being recorded, and the video will be posted on the Community Club website for member viewing. To honor America, please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence to remember those who are serving in uniform and those who have been affected by the COVID-19 virus. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Pat, would you please call the roll of the board members?
Mr. Fox? Here. Mr. Coble?
Here.
Mrs. Galloway?
Here.
Mr. Jones?
Here.
Mrs. Miller?
Here.
Mrs. Storr?
Here.
Mr. Whitworth?
Here.
Mr. Chairman, there are 7 board members present that will be.
Thank you, Pat. First item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of a prior board meeting. So may I have a motion to approve the minutes from the prior board meeting held on February 25th, 2021?
I so move.
Is there a second? Second. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes of the February 25th, 2021 board meeting are approved. This morning in the audience we have a number of distinguished guests. We have Cumberland County Mayor Alan Foster is with us this morning. Our 9th District Commissioner Colleen Mall is in the audience, and our 6th District Commissioner Joe Sherrill is in the audience this morning. Mayor Foster, do you have a few comments you want to share?
I do. Thanks for inviting me out. I appreciate the opportunity to be here this morning. Very few comments. I'll try to keep it brief. I don't know if you may have heard, Middle Tennessee Natural Gas is looking to expand their capacity here in Cumberland County. We're their biggest customer, and they're trying to bring a pipeline from Van Buren up into Cumberland County. High capacity. It's going to double the amount of natural gas for Cumberland County when the project is completed. To do that, they needed an easement on some Cumberland County property, and we granted that. So they're hoping that project will be done within 18 to 24 months. So that's a lot of good news for Cumberland County there. I wanted to briefly give you a little bit of the COVID-19 statistics from yesterday. We got about 100 active cases, and our positivity rate is down to about 6.83%. So things are trending the right direction. Vaccinations, if you haven't heard, phase 2 risk groups are now allowed to go, and that's critical infrastructure workers. And those aged 55 and plus are eligible for vaccinations right now. And no later than April 5th, the governor has said that all of the 89 state-ran health departments, which Cumberland County is, will open up to 16 plus. Cumberland County has still had good demand. Some other counties around us have not had such as good demand as we have, so it will likely be right around April 5th before the Cumberland County Health Department opens that up. To date, 24,719 shots have been administered. Some of those to more than one person, obviously. 15,590 individuals have received a shot, and 9,505 have been fully vaccinated in Cumberland County. So if you go through the health department to do it, tell them thank you. They're doing a great job, and they were out there. They were going to be out there today. I haven't heard if they canceled. I wouldn't blame them if they did. With this weather coming in, but they're out there all the time, and I certainly appreciate what they've done. Last thing is please be weather aware today. It's looking like we may get some storms later this afternoon, and we need to take precautions for those. It is an honor to be your mayor. I appreciate the opportunity to serve, and if anybody has any questions, I'd be more than willing to answer. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Commissioner Mall or Commissioner Sherrill, any comments to share? Okay, thank you. Before I go into the across-the-board message, I want to echo what Mayor Foster just shared with you. We do look like we are going to have severe weather this afternoon, and as we always stress, please make sure that you stay abreast of messages that are put out either by e-blast or on your television or mobile devices. And this is certainly the time to be able to determine where your safe place is and that you have your emergency supplies available, and that this would be a good time to charge your mobile devices rather than waiting until later when the weather rolls in. And we will more than likely have some messages for you later today as the weather gets worse. So the message from across the board today, our coronavirus journey is not over. However, the destination is coming into sight on the horizon. We still feel the impact of the COVID-19 virus on nearly every aspect of our daily lives. The increasing availability of the COVID-19 vaccines and the increasing number of convenient vaccination locations like Kroger pharmacies and Walmart are all very encouraging in our cause for optimism. We all share that optimism and are eager to return to business as usual. Our path back to business as usual will be both deliberate and cautious. And as we move forward, it is important to remember that you must remain vigilant, even if you have been vaccinated. And as the mayor shared, the 89 health departments across the state of Tennessee, including the Cumberland County Health Department, have all announced that they are providing and registering individuals that are age 55 and older, and have covered all of the Phase 1 and Phase 2 risk-based groupings. And the governor did announce that all Tennesseans age 16 and up will be eligible for the COVID vaccinations no later than April 5th. While we encourage everyone to be vaccinated as soon as you are eligible to receive the vaccine, not everyone will choose to do so. And at least for a while longer, not everyone you encounter will be vaccinated. So please continue to wear a mask, wash your hands, watch your social distancing, and please be cautious when attending any social gatherings. If you feel sick, get tested. If your test is positive, please follow the isolation and quarantine protocols strictly. Remember, using any of our club facilities is your personal choice, and only you can gauge how comfortable you feel in doing so. The most reliable source of information affecting your personal health is your primary care physician or your health care provider. Fairfield Glade Resident Services is now providing COVID support to those residents in Fairfield Glade who are quarantined in their homes. FGRS is able to deliver prescriptions, fresh meals from our local restaurants, and groceries to help residents in Fairfield Glade. FGRS will also provide transportation to and from COVID-19 vaccination appointments using the FGRS Way to Go program. FGRS also provides a reach-out service for Fairfield Glade residents who would like to have an FGRS volunteer call to check in and see how a resident is doing. These calls can be scheduled at the convenience of the resident, so if you or your family member, a friend, or a neighbor have a need for any of these services, please call FGRS at 931-335-9945 for details. We are pleased to announce that Mary Jo Page, our marketing director, has been appointed as a member of the Joint Economic and Community Development Board for Cumberland County. The board is comprised of representatives from city government, county government, local industry and businesses, and private citizens. The purpose of the board is to foster communication and cooperation between local government agencies, industry leaders, and to encourage long-term planning for the future. Mary Jo has experience in community economic development prior to moving to Tennessee, and we are confident that Mary Jo will be an advocate on behalf of Fairfield Glade and will effectively represent the best interests of our members. This morning, the Board of Directors will consider the proposed county lot agreement between Cumberland County and the Community Club that has been available for member comment for the past 30 days. When we shared the proposed agreement, we indicated that the proposed county lot agreement merely formalizes the long-standing practice that has been in place, that the intent of the agreement was never to extract financial or service concessions from either party, that the agreement is an effort to build on the positive and constructive relationship between the county and the community club, and that it is the expectation of both parties that we will enjoy a more cooperative relationship as we address issues of mutual interest in the future. We have received very positive responses and comments over the past 30 days to the proposed agreement. This morning, the Board of Directors will also consider the proposed financial strategy to pay off the Stonehenge loan early and to strengthen our cash reserve position, which we also shared earlier this month. Responses to the comments regarding paying off the approximately $1.2 million balance on the Stonehenge loan, saving approximately $72,000 in interest charges, plus adding approximately $2.5 million to our POA operations reserve account, have been overwhelmingly positive. And here are the latest updates on some of our major capital projects. Significant progress is now visible with the construction on the new Mirror Lake Entertainment Pavilion. Work on the pathways from the parking areas into the gathering area, as well as the plaza in front of the pavilion, is progressing and will continue, weather permitting and based upon contractor availability. Construction on the Phase 2 project to expand the Stonehenge kitchen and the exterior renovation is progressing on schedule and is very near completion. We expect to reopen the golf course on April 1st, and the Stonehenge Grill will be open in mid-April. Construction on the Racket Center renovation project is proceeding. The foundation work plus underground utilities have been completed. Structural work is in progress, and members using the Racket Center facility will continue to use the original Pro Shop as a temporary entrance and check-in location during the construction. The initial clearing in the area of Robin Hood Park is nearly complete, and construction on the new parking lots is well underway. The parking lots will be paved around the time that Rogers Group puts the final coat of asphalt on Sneed Drive. Other Phase 1 projects that include refurbishing of the existing pavilion and facilities will begin soon, weather permitting and based upon contractor availability. This morning we'll have a PR to fund the work on the existing structures. And then renovations on the restrooms in the Pro Shop at Heatherhurst was completed on schedule with the reopening of the Pro Shop on March 8th. And this is the March update from across the board. The next on the agenda is the Treasurer's Report. Bruce?
Good morning. I refer you to your handout. The club continues after 2 months to be in a strong financial position. In sewer, we started the year with a little over $3 million of cash, and we ended February with a $3.27 million of cash compared to $2.5 million at the end of February 2020, which is a positive change of over $700,000. For the Property Owners Association, we started the year with $2.5 million of capital cash, ended the month of February with $3.1 million of capital cash. For operations, we started the year with $3.7 million of operating cash and ended the month of February with $4.2 million of operating cash. For the total POA, we started the year with over $6 million, ended February with $7.3 million compared to $5.3 million at the end of February 2020, which is a positive variation of almost $2 million. The numbers in parentheses that you see by those dollar numbers are matched with the numbers on the data sheet itself to try to give you a reference of where those numbers come from. Also, I added a graph this month of the PO balance sheet cash to show you how we've been doing since 2019 through year-to-date 2021. And as you can see, in all categories, we are growing cash in sewer, POA operations, and POA capital. Next month, in April, I will have a more of a quarterly report for you, which will also include such things as equity, PP&E, and our debt. So we'll have a little longer treasurer's report next month. On cash flow sheet, the sewer continued with strong results and a positive variance to the budget of $27,091. That was driven by reduced grinder pump maintenance and overall maintenance, materials, and cost reductions. POA net operations were positive to a budget of $179,906. The major contributors to the positive variation were higher than expected assessment revenues and program sponsorship fees, in addition to under budget expenses in marketing and events and community maintenance, wages, and operating supplies. The amenities net operations was positive $11,341. The major contributors were increased revenues from pickleball and reduced CCC expenses driven by lower wage costs. So overall, POA and amenity operations were favorable by $191,247, contributing to the good performance from January. So again, our financial picture through the first 2 months is very good. Does anybody have any questions that you guys could answer now? If not, my email is on there. Every once in a while I'll receive a few questions back and I'll respond to them. Is there a question? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes. Question for you. The numbers look great. Is this a seasonal thing, or do you expect that the numbers are going to improve the other way?
No, I think well, part of the seasonal issue is that we have several of our residents pay their assessments for the entire year versus monthly or quarterly. And this year we've had additional people that we had budgeted for that are paying it for the year. And that's why you see the POA cash up higher, but that's all in the budget. So I don't see anything in front of us that says this is going to turn negative. I think we're in a positive position at this point. And remember, this is January, February are very low months for us for visitors. And so starting in April, for instance, we get really busy. So we're going to be heading into the busy season. So I think things will just continue on a positive fashion. Anything else? Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Bruce. Bob, the general manager's report is next.
Okay, thank you. With respect to community maintenance, this is the time of year that we start evaluating our roads for repaving and chip and seal. So the county does the chip and seal process. We do the paving. But if you live on a road that you think needs major repairs or repaving or new chip and seal, please contact the Public Works Division, and they'll make sure to evaluate that road as we put together a list for 2021. For amenities, year-to-date golf rounds through last month were about 3,500. That's 500 fewer than budget and 100 more than last year. The bad weather we had in February really attributed to that low number of rounds in February. Good news is average rounds per course per day open were 63 compared to 62 last year. So when we're open, people are playing, so that's the good news. Jamin Lyons will be our new F&B manager starting April 5th. The last 6 years, Jamin managed resorts owned by Princess Lodges in Alaska. So he shouldn't have an issue with the weather here during the wintertime in Tennessee. And Princess Lodges is actually owned by Princess Cruises. So it's a large organization. They're used to processes and systems. So we're very fortunate to have him here starting April 5th. And that's all I have.
Thanks, Bob. The next item on the agenda is the resort report. Barb?
Good morning. Wyndham visitors month so far is 2859. Things have started revving up since spring breakers are here. Year-to-date, Wyndham visitors, 6,132. Timeshare revenues for January and February. Conference Center, year-to-date is 319, which is 2% of like revenue. Racket Sports, 2445, which is 7%. Dartmoor and St. George marinas are still closed in January and February, so there was nothing to report. Golf, 1,023, which is 1%, and food, 5,558, which is 5%. A total of 9,345, which is 3% of like revenue. Thank you.
Thanks, Barb. The next item is the architectural control report. Doug, thank you.
Good morning. Before I give my report, I'd like to mention that we only had one meeting in February due to weather. We had to cancel our second meeting, so some of these numbers are down, but we will probably see when we give our report in March that they'll be different, be up at that point. Our miscellaneous approvals for changes to existing homes were 58 for a total of 235 for the year through February compared to 213 last year. Our new homes approved were 2 in February for a total of 8 compared to 16 in February of 2020. New homes started were 3, a total of 8 through February compared to 14 from last year, and new homes completed were 5 through February. There was February 2021, there were 14 compared to 17 in February 2020. Any questions?
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it. Under unfinished business, the first item on the agenda is the proposed county lot agreement. And let me start with a couple of comments on that. As I mentioned in the across-the-board message, the proposed county lot agreement merely formalizes the long-standing practice that has been in place. The intent of the agreement was never to extract financial or service concessions from either party, and the agreement is an effort to build on the positive and constructive relationship between the county and the community club. The expectation is that both parties will enjoy a more cooperative relationship as we address issues of mutual interest in the future. This has been posted for the last 30 days. During that time, we received 32 positive comments and 8 negative comments, and those include the 2 comments that were shared yesterday during the workshop. In the afternoon yesterday, the board did discuss the 2 comments that were made during the morning workshop, and we are in a position now where I will entertain a motion to approve the agreement and allow me to execute it on behalf of the community club.
Point of order, we would like to make comments.
You're going to have a chance for that in a second, Nico, in a second, just in a second. Jeannie?
I move that we approve the county lot agreement.
I second that motion.
Okay. Under discussion.